Hey friends, so I've started doing something that I used to do a long time ago that I haven't done in a while, that I am kind of excited to start doing again, which is to use a Pomodoro timer. So I think a Pomodoro literally just means tomato, and I might be wrong. And the method is a method of time management, or a method of project management. It's just time boxing, right? It's just operating with chunks of time. So typically, most Pomodoro systems, people use 25-minute timers to track some work that they're doing, and then they take a 5-minute break, and then they do another 25 minutes. And sometimes what they do is every third or fourth Pomodoro, so having done 25 minutes of work, 5 minutes of rest, 25 minutes of work, 5 minutes of rest, one more time, they might do a longer break. So like the fourth break might be 25 minutes break. Regardless, I remember starting to do it in 2013 when I was working at a job, and I felt like I wasn't being productive enough, and I was getting distracted very easily. And I was looking up, what are some time management tips? What are how do successful, productive people manage their time? And one of the things that came up was, chunking, Pomodoroing, doing things in blocks of time. And the benefit of that is that you don't get distracted. I mean, you manage. You don't get derailed, right? So if you do get derailed, because there are chunks, you have a timer every 25 minutes to kind of reset where you're at. And I tried that. It worked a little bit. I would do like 1 or 2 timers, and then I would get distracted, and then I'd feel bad about myself, and then it gets worse. So I tried it multiple times, failed multiple times. I had some periods of time where it was pretty effective for pretty decent stretches of time, but then when it failed, I would get demoralized. And there's a meta thing to be discussed about the demoralization effect of failure, and that's something that I think can be rewired. It should be rewired of sorts. You should be kind of rethinking your approach to failure and your response to failure. People who do great things, or just people who do a lot of work, people who write novels, and people who just kind of prolific, so-called high functioning, right? Like there's a quote by, was it Edison, like something about the light bulb, and how I haven't failed. I found like 900 plus times, plus occasions or plus instances in which it doesn't work. So like every failure is a learning opportunity, and it doesn't feel like that when you jump the gun and you kind of assume that failure is something that you should feel bad about, that you should beat yourself up about, that failure as proof that you are a failure, right? As opposed to, what went wrong here? What can I adjust to make it less likely that this particular failure will happen the next time? Like it's just inherent. It seems like failure is inherently demoralizing, but I don't think that's actually true. Or it doesn't have to be true, it can be changed. Anyway, back to Pomodoro timers. I have been doing it for maybe 4 or 5 days, and I use an app on my phone that lets me kind of label what the tomato is about. And I have one label for working on my book, which is helpful because I find that just thinking on my book is such a big, massive manuscript, and like, what do I focus on? What do I work on? It just feels like too much. And I can procrastinate on starting for a very long time, for hours, sometimes the whole day, because it just feels like there's too much to do. And chunking it down to, okay, I'm going to work on my book for 25 minutes. That kind of guides me to, okay, what can we do in 25 minutes? We can fill out one chapter. We can fill out another chapter. Right now I'm in a phase where I'm trying to fill out all the gaps in the book. And once I'm done filling out all of those things, I'll probably start doing 25-minute sections of let's edit the book. So I'm going to print it out again. I actually have a printed copy of my book that I can show you if you want to see. Alright, so it's like I have pages and pages of this, and I'm writing in it. And there's typically some writing on every page, not all, but not in the acknowledgements, but like So that's how I edit, and I've done my first round of editing, and But the thing about editing is that sometimes people ask me like, what's stopping you from being done with your book? And it's like, an editor can help you correct things that are on the page, but they can't put things on the page that are not there. So if it's inadequate in some way, if something's missing, then that's something that no editor or critic can do for you. Like it's the gap between your work and your vision, and no one else can see your vision except you. So anyway, that's a digression. But yeah, so I'm still in the stage of filling stuff out, and then eventually I'll get to the stage of editing. I also use pomodoros to track guitar practice, and it's like I feel like a part of me knows, oh, you should practice your instrument every day, but there's just sometimes I don't do it because I don't really have a plan, and I don't really feel myself making progress. And I think there is something very valuable about having these discrete, fixed, like bricks, right? It's like a house is built one brick at a time, and if you know exactly what a brick is, you can count the number of bricks you're laying and kind of make progress on that front and see the progress, visualize it, feel motivated. So yesterday's video I talked about how I suspect, or I have a concept of energy management, personal energy management, like your moods and your how excited you are versus how fatigued you are, and how there are physical components to it, but there's also a psychological component to it. And last night I went to bed like 5 a.m., which is pretty normal for me. I tend to sleep between like 3 to 5 a.m. almost every day. But the thing is, I only slept about 6.5-ish hours, probably 6 hours. Probably took me like half an hour to fall asleep, and then I slept 6 hours. I think that's what happened. And I woke up, and I was excited to wake up and work on my word vomits, which is you can see it over that. Each square is a blog post. I have hundreds of these. Let me just don't look at my nose. I'm at 792, right? And I have done hundreds and hundreds of these. And yeah, it's I have like 207 to go, which is like it's a lot. I've made a lot of progress, and there's still a lot to go. And I want to be done with it, and so the way to be done with it is to like publish one every day and give myself like 25 minutes to do it. Because if I don't do that, if I don't have that kind of easy win lined up, and it's just, oh, what should I do today? I can do whatever I feel like doing, right? And I don't feel like doing it, then it just doesn't happen. And I'm tired of things not happening because I didn't feel like making it happen. And again, didn't feel like making it happen. I think part of the feelings of a thing happening is a function of like the options that you have, right? So if you have the options in front of you, practice guitar for 25 minutes, work on a word vomit for 25 minutes, and that advances my progress towards my completion, which is 1,000 word vomits. So I've done 792 or 3, right? So, and if each day I can do multiple tomatoes, I can be making concrete progress towards my goals, and then I just feel better. I feel like and if I feel better about the progress that I'm making, I think I can sleep better. So again, I'm optimistic, hopeful. Can't be too sure, because like it could be that something's gonna nudge me off course and the whole thing just falls apart. Maybe. If that does happen, I am trying to prepare myself to study the failure in a dispassionate way and not take it as a moral failure on my part. We'll see. Done.